There we go. There's no music. There's no sound. You guys are just going to have to deal with me. And if you want music, then you can play your own music. How about we do that? So, welcome to my creative stream. Actually, I'm going to hop into. Oh, I don't even have Discord open. I have a really awkward setup for trying to do anything. Oh, God. There's no music. There is no sound. You guys are just going to have to deal with me. And if you. Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to get on Discord. I'm going to get into my on stream. If anybody wants to come and talk to me and keep me company while I do this, now is a great time to do so. So, hello, GeoPirate, and hello, DJ. I'm sorry that my screen is kind of like squarish. I don't know why that cam is square and not widescreen, but it lets me have my cam and some chat down the side, so we're going to go with it. So what I'm doing is I'm sewing a valance, which is going to be like a little decorative kind of drapey thing across the top of the window that you can see behind me. So it's a bay window, which makes it a little bit, well, it actually isn't going to make it more complicated because I'm doing basically a really simple one. I wanted to make it more drapey, but the fabric that I bought, which was super cheap, so it's like it was $10 for this and then like twice as much. Um, so my screen is perfect. Oh, thank you, DJ. So, yeah, it was only $10, so we're gonna go with it. It's not exactly how I want to do it, but I'm not a good sewer, so it'll be good practice. And if it's really good and I feel inspired to make something nicer, then I'll just do that at a later time. Maybe we should turn this camera. I don't like that you guys can see my belly hanging out there. There we go. All right, I don't need to be in that screen. So, before stream, I got my sewing machine set up. It's threaded. Hopefully it works. I did a little test sew on a piece of paper. You can do that with sewing machines. And it worked lovely. So, I'm hoping everything will go well. I had this huge piece of fabric. I cut it in half. Best Sunday ever. It's Saturday winter. I hope it's Saturday, unless I completely slept through Saturday and it's now Sunday, in which case I missed doing something that I was supposed to do. And also missed raid because I have raid tonight. But so I got the sewing machine set up. I got my fabric cut in half because I'm gonna use. My hands are small. Yes, I have really stumpy fingers. That's just my hands. And so it also, you can't see it, but there's actually like a board mounted above my window, which is perfect for this. This is what this is going to go on. This little board, it sticks out probably like that far from the wall. And it has a piece of the like the hooky side of the Velcro already stapled onto it. So I have here the hooky, not the hooky, the like loopy side of Velcro that I'm going to put on this, and then it's going to stick up there. And that's how this is happening. So I already measured this. I stuck this piece to it and I cut it at exactly the length. So I'm going to use the Velcro to measure the length. So if you guys can see how long this is, it's probably, I haven't actually measured it, but I bought 3 meters of Velcro and I had to cut probably about half a meter off. So I'm guessing it's about 2.5 meters is going to be the length of this. So it's going to be awkward. We don't have a lot of space here to work with, so it'll be hard to get you guys to see what's going on. What I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to do the bottom hem, and then I'm going to do the side hems. And the reason for that is because I don't know how much of this thread that I have. And if I end up having to use a color that doesn't match it, so this is like, you can't see it, but it's like a burgundy thread. And I'm not going to show it to you because it will ruin my lovely setup. But if I run out of that, I have white and I have some other colors. And if I have to do it for the Velcro part, that part's going to like fold down behind it and you won't see it. So if I have to use a different colored thread that doesn't match my fabric, I want it to be on the Velcro part. So I'm going to do that part last. So I think I've decided the most important part is the bottom hem. That is the right color. So we're going to do that first. This may not be the best process for sewing, but that's what we're gonna go with for fabric reasons, and I think I can make the whole thing work. So first things first, I gotta figure out. So this edge has like this weird. It's not like the same as the rest of it. That is the top edge. Wait, or did I say I was gonna make that the bottom edge? No, I said I was gonna make that the bottom edge, and then this other end, which is where I cut, is gonna be the top. So we're gonna start by folding this part over, and it's got like a perfect line where we want to fold it. So that should make it easier, although we can't really see that line. The nice thing about this fabric is it's blocky, so I've got lines to work with to see how it to make sure it lines up. Like when I cut it in half, I literally started at one end and I just cut down a line and it ended up perfect at the other end. I didn't have to like mess around with it or anything. It was glorious. So I need some pins. So I'm gonna pin it. This is so like I could fold it as I go along, but then you end up with it like bulking up at one end. So I'm gonna put pins in it to make sure that it doesn't bulk up like that. And I'm gonna put them in this way because I'm gonna sew along right. Oh, you guys can't see. I'm gonna sew along right here, probably along this line, and I don't want the bulby head to get in the way, so I'm gonna put the pins in this way, like I know what I'm doing or something. So we're gonna go all the way along this piece of fabric, folding it over and sticking pins in it, which is gonna be super awkward, but that's why we're doing it ahead of time. Or by ahead of time, like before I start sewing, because it would be harder, be more awkward to try to keep it from bulking. Let's do it like this. There we go. So I shouldn't need to put too many pins in because it's fairly even and because it folds nicely because it's a different sort of fabric. I have a piece of thread on my arm. So how are you guys doing? What are your Saturdays looking like? I actually am set up so I have absolutely no idea what kind of viewership I have, which is probably good, but I'm hoping we might get some new people in who are just interested in watching me sew. I'm not a pro sewer. I have learned to sew. My mom did a lot of sewing when I was growing up. She doesn't do so much now. This is her sewing machine. You can't see all of it, but I think you can tell that it is not a fancy new sewing machine. It is a sewing machine she bought when she first started working. So the sewing machine is older than I am. But yeah, my mom did a lot of sewing when I was younger, and you're in Snowcloak. I actually have not gotten Snowcloak since Heaven's Word started. For all the high-level roulette that I've done, I have not gotten Snowcloak. But yeah, so my mom, we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, so my mom did a lot of sewing of like our clothes and of stuff. She actually made my grade 8 prom graduation dress, whatever you want to call it. And it looked like a Cinderella dress. It was like that shiny blue. Although the sad news was that there was another dress that I'd wanted, and I found it, but it was like $250, and I found it in a store, and it was beautiful. It was this yellow. It kind of had like a little, I don't know what kind of material it was. I think the top was kind of like a bandeau type thing, and it was like had this like sprinkly fabric, and then the bottom was all like tulle, like the kind of what is the other word for that? Like kind of like a meshy like fabric, and it was yellow, and I felt like a princess in it, and I wanted it so bad. But $250 was a lot of money, so my mom was like, "No, let's see about making one." And then by the time I found like a pattern and we found a piece of the material for it, the material itself was going to cost like $150. So at that point she was like, you know what, like it's probably easiest just to go buy this other dress that you found. But I went back and they didn't have it anymore, so that was a sad moment in the life of no, Tull is spelled Tulle. That's the word I'm thinking of. I just don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I at least know how to spell it. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I may actually be wrong. I'm not a fabric connoisseur. I don't know all my fabrics. Actually, this is going to work out perfectly because when I get to that end, that is the end that's going to have to go in the sewing machine first. So this is going to work out lovely. It's like I planned this or something. It's like I know what I'm doing. Instead of just making shit up as I go along. Uh, but yeah, Alaise, welcome, but you totally failed at spelling that. Just, uh, just an FYI. So I haven't sewn in about a year. About a year ago, because it was right before Thanksgiving last year, I was trying to sew placemats for my table, and I made 4 of them. I have enough material to make 8 more, so I could have a full set of 8. But I haven't got around to doing it. But this year, my goal is because I do Thanksgiving in my family. I kind of claimed it when I first moved out and had my own place. I kind of claimed it as my holiday where I invite my family over. And so ever since then, I do Thanksgiving. And so the first year I had it at this place, my goal actually no, it was the second year. So the first year was kind of a mess. The second year, I was like, I need a kitchen table because I didn't have. I had this little, actually, this table, this white table that I'm using right now. That used to be what I used as a kitchen table, but it's not very big. You can fit like 2 people on it. 4 if you squeezed. 4 would be a very tight squeeze. The sides of it, where the legs sit, is not enough for somebody to like stick their legs really under the table. So, oh, moving this along too far. So, so my second year Thanksgiving at this place, my goal was to have a real table for Thanksgiving. The year afterwards, I wanted to have, actually, maybe I did it after Thanksgiving because I definitely didn't have them because I don't have enough. Because when I have my whole family over, it's my mom, my stepdad, my 2 sisters, and one of my sister's husbands who come. So between all of us, that's like 5. And so, is that right? Yeah, and I only have 4 Actually, I think I used them, and then I used one of my older placemats. No, no, I'm pretty sure I definitely used the my older placemats just because I had a full set of them, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing this year. Um, and then this year, my goal is to have these valances done because this is something I've wanted for years. And I was on the fence about making it because I figured it would take a long time and it would be hard. And then it occurred to me because when I was trying to buy, like I was looking at balances in the store, and all of them were meant to go on curtain rods. Like they sort of either you put up a curtain rod and you just had a valance, or you could have like double curtain rods, so you could have like your valance hanging in front of your actual curtains. But because I have like the I don't know what they're called. I have like the slat curtains. So I don't need like fabric curtains over them. So all I need is a rod or something to put decorative stuff on. So my thought was to make things simple and make it so I could buy a curtain, because the only way I knew I was going to get curtains up on what I currently have is if I made it myself, because it would have to be like perfectly, or to buy them custom made, which would not be cheap. So I was thinking about taking the wooden boards up because that's what was up there when I moved in. Um, to take those off and put just rods up and then use the rods. But then I got into Pinterest and I actually found some guides of how to make the board mounted ones, and I was like, "Oh man, I already have the boards up there. I just need the curtain part. Like this is actually going to be pretty easy." And then I started looking for fabric, and I found this fabric at Walmart. It was one of their like end of rolls. Here's a bunch of fabric. You can buy it as is for like $10. And the colors match my living room quite nicely because I sort of have a red and black theme. So this is like red and and gray, and it's got a little bit of beige in, which I also have that. Like it literally is the perfect colors to match the rest of my living room. So, so I bought it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be long enough when I bought it, but it was wide enough that I figured if it wasn't long enough, I could cut it in half and just sort of attach some bits on the other side. But it is indeed long enough. So I decided, because it's in my living room, I actually have in addition to the window behind me, I have a balcony door that has one of the boards over top of it too. So I'm going to use the other half to make the one over there, and that one's not as wide, so I may try to be a little bit more experimental and make something that is more fancy for that side. Oh, let's go back a couple of these. I've been screwing up, not folding it over far enough. All right, let's try that again. I was doing so well, I'm almost to the end. And then I fucked up the last couple of ones. Oh, I see a little Arthas. He's like, what are you doing? Where's the sewing machine? Why isn't it in the corner where it's been for like years and years? You like the red and black. That's why I had to get a red and black chair, although the red looks kind of orange on here, but the red's a little bit too bright because I have more of like this darker burgundy. If you guys have seen my couch, which is just over there, I know it's gone on camera a couple times. It's more of this dark red color. All right, so it's all pinned. So let's try not to stab myself. Holy crap, this is long. So we're going to bring this over here, and we're going to move my sewing machine a little bit closer to me. And we are going to sew this along, and hopefully this will work. So we're going to sew about along that one line. So we drop the foot down, holds everything nicely in place, and commence the sewing. So, oh, nope, this isn't working. What the heck? What the heck? This thread like flew out of it. So we need this this to come up. So I'm looking at this being at the top, and then I thread it through these. You can't really see them, but there's like these little hook things here. And then, oh, did I not stick? No, I totally stuck it through there. And then there's a little hole in the bottom of the needle for those unfamiliar with sewing machines. Did that go through the hole or did that just go behind it? That seemed way too easy. Yeah, that's behind it. Oh, that's, oh, what am I doing? I didn't want to have to do this because it's super awkward. Oh, that went through. Beautiful. Alright, so we need a little bit more of that out there. We need to hold on to it so we don't lose it. Orfina, hello, welcome. You've been here before, right, Orfina? I recognize your name. It's been a long time, though. Alright, let's see if it works this time. Alright, so we're going forward a little bit, and then we want to go backwards, which I'm forgetting what the backwards is. Is it pushing this button? Yes. So we just go backwards a little bit just so it, so to get like, instead of tying a knot, you just go back and forth a little bit on the edge. So this is actually working perfectly because I can line up the side of the foot with this like white line that's just on the edge where it starts fraying. And that'll give me a fairly straight and perfectly far in line. So that's actually perfect. And this is sewing. And it looks good on this side. Oh yeah, that it's going right down a line so you almost can't even see it. You love my stream. Awesome. I am so glad. I love that people love my stream. All right, so there it was just starting to bunch up, but because of the pins, it like bunches in a little bit and then you get past it and it goes fine. Whereas if I was trying to do this without the pins, it would just slowly get more and more difficult to keep it in a straight line and to keep the fabric at the right fold length. For those of you unfamiliar with how to sew, this is going surprisingly well. My nose is running. So I don't know how far I'm going to get. I'm hoping that I get this one done. It's fairly easy. I need to hem the bottom part, I need to hem the sides, and then I need to put the Velcro on. And that's basically all I need to do. I'm hoping I can get that done by 5. I have rating tonight in Final Fantasy 14 at 6, and I want like an hour. I totally had to mess up my whole, like, my computer's like flipped around, and I've got like this table in front of my desk, because so my usual desk is up there. So yeah, I need time to A, eat dinner, and B, to fix up my setting for streaming Final Fantasy again. So, so yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I can get done before 5. If I get this curtain done and have more time, I'm gonna start on the other one. But that one's gonna be a little bit trickier, I think. Although it will also start with just. The other question, I suppose, is if I have enough thread, because that is a concern of mine, which is why I'm doing this bottom hem first, even though I'm not entirely sure that's the best place to start on this. So again, for people unfamiliar with how sewing machines work, there's actually like a pedal down on the floor, which when I step on it, that's what makes the needle go up and down, and it pulls the fabric through. So all I have to do is guide it along this line. So sewing, not a difficult thing. The hardest part of sewing with a sewing machine is threading, setting the thread up properly, so it does what it's supposed to do. Once you get going though, especially if all you're doing is like straight lines, it's super easy. It's more about like cutting and pinning and setting up the sewing machine. The actual sewing part is super easy. Are we like halfway done? Maybe a little bit more than halfway done. So the sides I think are going to be a little bit trickier just because it's going to fold weirdly with the bottom hem. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. But it should just be a matter of folding one side in. Although this fabric is fairly heavy, and so I think if I fold up too many layers, my needle might not want to go through it very easily. We'll see. How loud is the sewing machine on mic? Can you guys hear it? Fairly loudly, or is it just sort of like a background thing? Oh, I'm almost done. I'm getting to the end, guys. Whoops, I need to stop. I keep letting it do a couple more stitches after I let go of it, and it starts pulling it off to the side. It's not loud? Alright, that's cool. So the most dangerous part of sewing is that there's this little like screw that sticks out on this side, which is where you don't want your fingers to be, and it goes up and down, and if you're like feeding in thread this way and you stick your finger underneath it, it goes down pretty low and it'll like pinch your finger. But that's pretty much the worst that'll happen to you sewing. Alright, so we're getting to the end, so we're gonna back it up. And we're going to go forward and then bring the needle up to the top, lift up the foot, and then you can pull on it. This is tighter than it should be. What is going on here? The bottom part is jammed. Oh, there we go. There we go. And I need my scissors now, which are way, way over here. All right, so this is really tight. Is this like jammed down here somehow? Oh well, whatever. Whatever, it's working. This is pretty heavy stuff. Hey keg can, where's my little needle thing? So now that we've sewn this, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna take out all these needles and put them back in here. And then we're gonna go and do one of the side seams. Now, the one thing that's kind of difficult about this is it's really useful to have an ironing board when you're sewing, just so you can like, because I would love to iron along this seam just to make it flat, although the poofiness of it might actually work in my benefit. But that was a big thing when I was sewing my placemats, which I was doing at my mom's place mostly, and she has an iron, so I just had her set that up, and I was just ironing them as I needed. But here I actually don't have an ironing board. I don't iron ever, so that's something. Maybe I'll ask for that for Christmas, but it's just not something that I would use very often, and I think I can get away without needing it for this. But for certain parts, like I'm especially worried about the top end when I put the Velcro on, because it's going to have to flop over. Oh, what am I doing here? Let's not lose my thread. What was I saying? Yeah, because I'm going to sew it on the front side of the fabric, and then it's going to fold over the back, which is how I actually, so every window in my house has these boards for valance mounting on them. And, but two of them actually have balances on them right now. So I was looking at the one in my kitchen, which is just over there, and that's how it's done. So I was like, okay, well, that seems like a good idea, so that's how I'm going to do that one. And we're almost done here, and then I can start hemming up a side, which we're gonna do. We're not gonna do as thick of a hem for the sides. I only did it this thick on the bottom because of how the fabric was. And that's the end of that. So I have a lovely seam, which you guys can't really see. It's right along, basically. No, it's right here. But it is lovely, and you can barely see it, which is perfect. So the sides have this weird, I don't know, it's got like shit stuck to it. But since it was like cheap fabric, I'm not too concerned about it. And this part's gonna get folded over anyways. So we're actually going to end up folding that over, so that stuff ends up behind. So we're just going to fold it over like this, and we're going to hem that, and that's going to be that. So let's flip this around. This end is going to be much, much shorter than the other one. So we want this to come over just about that far. I think that's good for all the way across. So we can, and I'm gonna tuck this corner in somehow. Yeah, let's do it like that. Just have a more proper finish. Hopefully my needle will go through that because that's getting pretty thick there. But there we go. And we just need to put needles all the way down in this end and then sew it up. Actually, I hope this isn't too wide because I know I don't have a lot of extra fabric to work with at the ends. I think that's enough. We'll do it. It'll be fine. I kind of have to because of this stupid shitty edge stuff that's stuck on it. Maybe the other side we can do a smaller hem on. I need to put less pins in so we can get this done faster. Otherwise I'll be sitting and putting pins in this all day. let's move this along so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a little bit extra fabric on each side when I put the Velcro on, so it can kind of drape a little bit down the sides. Oh, people are talking. How much gil did you need for the weaving materials? And how much experience are you getting from this? That's a good question. I already talked about how much it cost me. Although it didn't cost me in gil, it cost me in dollars. But if we're saying it's gil, it was literally like 10 gil. Like super cheap. So this, we have to start this way because you always want the bulk of your fabric to be on this side of your sewing machine, because otherwise you're trying to like jam it through this area, and that's just awkward. And since this fabric is actually really, really long, that would be a lot of fabric to try to stick through it. This thread is actually tangled up and tied in a knot. How did that happen? Oh God, why is this so tight? What is, why is this? Whoops, now I've screwed this up. This is really, really tight for some reason. I'm sure you guys are making jokes right now, or thinking them in your head. Alright, so I gotta cut this because for some reason my thread got tied in a knot. I don't know, this thread shouldn't be this tight, but it's working, so we're gonna go with it. Oh, I see what the problem was. I was like actually pulling the needle. Ooh, that would have been bad. So we're going to, oh, poking myself. Starting here, hold on to this thread so it actually goes through. We're gonna back it up a little bit. And then we're gonna go. We're gonna actually use this edge here, so this edge along here, down the side of the foot as a guideline. To keep it fairly straight. I wonder how we're doing on thread. I'm not worried about the thread up here. I'm worried about the little bobbin that holds the other side of the thread because there's not as much thread on it. I'm actually not entirely sure how much thread is on it. Oh, this is starting to buckle up. You guys can see that here. That's not cool, but that's why. So there, we're gonna get a weird foldy part there. But it's on the back side. No one's gonna see it. That just means I failed at doing the pins. I didn't keep it at the same width. That's why that happened. But it's on this side. You're not really gonna see it, so I'm just gonna go with it. And we're coming up. This corner is going to be the tough part because it's actually really heavy. And this fabric, being so long, is really kind of awkward to work with. So we want to go past the corner and then back over it is going to be my plan. And the sewing, it went through it. So we're just going to go, yeah. And then bring this up to the top. So I'm talking about this thing. And then, oh, this side's coming out a little bit easier. It's still tighter than it should be, but it's working, so I'm not going to complain. It might be more of an issue if I had thinner fabric, like it might start like pulling my fabric, but because it's not. So we're just going to trim that off and then undo these pins again. And I put them back in here just so they don't get lost, so I don't end up with pins all over the floor that I'm going to step on. Yeah, I ended up with a little bit of a wrinkle in the hem, but I'm not too worried about that because nobody's gonna see it. And that's it for the pins on this side. So now we want to hem. So this is what it looks like on this side. That's the corner. It's actually a little bit not quite square, but we're gonna go with it. This is the side that I've just hemmed. You can kind of see along there. It looks beautiful. Now we need to get to the other end of this fabric, which is a really long way away. And we're going to end up starting at this end for this one and working our way down. But for pinning, we can go along. So this again, we want to flip this corner under. That's actually way too wide of a seam. So let's, because this one does, yeah, this side doesn't have that shit stuff on it. So we're going to make this like as small of a hem as we can. Which is not that small, but we shall go with that. Oh, there we go. So we're basically folding along this line. I really love this fabric being so geometrical. This is making my life a lot easier. Because I can use the fabric itself as a guideline for how much to fold over. Where, you know what, it actually probably started buckling more because I put my pins further apart. But we're going to still go with that because I'm lazy. I want to get this done as quickly as I can. Nope, I think this fabric's not actually cut straight. But it's okay. It's not going to cause a problem. It's just going to end up being a little bit thinner of a hem on this one side. Which I'm going to have to do like a... Oh yeah, I'm going to have to bring the hems, the stitching in. So it's not going to be a straight line. But... because there's a little bloop in. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not as thick in that one spot. But it just means my hem's not going to be quite straight, and but this is a part that you're not really going to see, so it's probably, this is going to be like along the side of my window, so it's, no one's going to be looking there. At least I don't think they will be. All right, let's get this in here. All right, we got thread hanging out here. I want to use the side as a guideline again. It's getting stuck. Oh, this is really tight. Oh, I think I just broke the thread. Something felt like it broke. We'll see. I don't know if I'm even sewing right now. I think so. Oh, maybe I am. Maybe I'm sewing. Oh, I am. I don't know what snapped there, but it felt really tight, and then something snapped, and now it's not tight anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we're sewing a line, and we're gonna go with it. All right, if we make it to the end of this line, then we are good for, so this is where I have to go in a little bit. Good for thread, because I said I could change color if I have to on the other part. Let's go back before we go off the edge. And bring this part up to the top. Lift that up and It's still really snug, but we're done. Oh, that just totally broke itself. That's really weird. All right, so that side's done now too. Now we just have to attach the Velcro to it and then hang it. So after I hang it though, my hope is to, so with the bay window, there's like the two parts where it turns, and I'm hoping at those parts I'm going to kind of gather it a little bit at the bottom to make it drape. But for now, we're just gonna, the first goal is to get it so it hangs straight across, but it's probably going to hang down further than I'd like it to, because it's still kind of a really wide piece of fabric. So we're probably going to be, all right, let's cut off this extra thread here, because we don't want this dangling on off my thing. So there's this side, that corner. That one's a little bit more straight than the other corner was. But now we have to deal with this last side. And before I do anything, I'm going to, Velcro sticking to itself. I'm going to see how much extra space I have. It looks good. Thanks, DJ. So if we start here and we're running this all along, oh. The question is, how much fabric do I have left at the end? Because we have to spread that out between both sides. Alright, so here is where it's ending, and I have this much extra fabric, which isn't very much, but I knew I wasn't going to have very much. So we're going to measure this, and then let's do centimeters. So from the end of it to the end of the fabric is a little less than 18, so we want it to be a tiny little bit less than 9 on each side. And then we can start pinning it. So we'll see when I get to the other end how off my math was. So we want it to start right about here. Is where we're going to start pinning it. And we're pinning this to the front side because as I'd said, the plan is to, after it's sewn on, it's going to flip. Oh, sorry, you guys can't really see. It's going to flip down like that, and it's going to be behind it. And then this part's going to just like be in the way and drape. All right, so the plan is to have approximately 9 centimeters left when we get to the other end. So we'll see how well I did. And actually, pins are really difficult to get through this Velcro. That's not cool. Talking about me. You're saying I look good, not my you know what? This is not, I'm lining it up with the edge, but the edge isn't quite straight. So I'm going to line it up actually with this, you guys can't see, with this line in the fabric. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to move it down a tiny little bit. With hopefully not losing my spot. There we go. So let's do this again. And I wish that these pins went through this a little bit easier, but that is that it is what it is. The Velcro is thick, thicker than the fabric. So And I'm not sure with the Velcro if I should just do one seam right down the middle. I'm guessing I probably should go all the way around it. Would be the better method, but that's also the more thread intensive. And as you know, I am concerned by how much thread I have. And this is the boringest part, where all I'm doing is pinning. Although, from your perspective, oh god, this pin is bending. I just bent that pin trying to get it through. You don't think anyone would complain if the camera were switched? What do you mean? Like, so, what do you mean? Do you mean just using my face camera as the overhead camera, or do you mean something else? Because my main camera is better quality, and so I was thinking of switching them. That would be take too much swapping things around. That oh, like big Ari cam and tiny sewing cam. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm gonna be really sad when I get to the other end and it turns out that my math was, or whatever, my not my math. I know my math is right, but like my measuring of the of the fabric was wrong. Like that I didn't keep it flat to it properly or whatnot. And it turns out that I have like a really uneven even amount of fabric on the other end. Hopefully it all works out because I don't want to have to repin this because this is actually quite a pain in the ass. And I'm being stabbed by needles. And you guys can barely see what I'm doing because like my hands are in like the bottom corner and mostly you're just looking at my sewing machine. But deal with it. Deal with it. So this is actually going fairly well. It's not even been an hour, so I'll probably finish the. Well, there's still like the draping part, because I think this, if I hang it up just as it is, I think it's going to be way too long. Like I think it's going to cover half my window. So I'm going to have to, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I've heard just like sew it or just gather it, like just sort of fold it, and then sew the gathered part. But that's more of like a hand sewing job, and this stuff's really thick. Like I think that'd be really difficult to sew by hand. The other thing, the way my other windows are done is someone's sewn like hooks to the back of it at strategic locations. And then you kind of like can grab all the little, they're not hooks, they're little like circles, they're little like plastic loops, and they're sewn like every like, I don't know, like 2-3 inches. And then you can like grab all the little hooks and then like hook them onto a top part and it just holds them up, which is cool, but I don't have those little little hook things. And when I was playing around with them, I actually broke them, but it's probably just because the plastic is old and brittle. But the design of that valance is slightly different. It's been pleated, so it's got like fabric folded over, so it's got a lot of extra behind, and that's the part that's gathered up. So it's not going to work exactly the same as it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna stick it up on the window. I'll move my camera so you guys can have a look at what it looks like when it's on the window, and then we'll try to figure out the best method for gathering it or whatnot, or how much it even needs to be gathered, which I'm suspecting is going to be a lot because this is actually a lot of fabric. Oh, we're not, oh God, we're not even close to the other end yet. I was like, oh, I'm almost done. Nope, not in the slightest. Oh, now I'm just not even showing you guys what I'm doing at all. Oh, I'm so terrible, guys. So terrible. I would switch it to a big cam since like me on the big cam, but my keyboard is like legit on the other side of this table and is really awkward to get at. You know what? If we move the sewing machine back though, get the scissors out of the way. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. I was like, where did the needles go? But there are the pins. Then we can move this up here and you guys can have a better view of what I'm doing. I can rest my elbows on the table. Oh, I see the end. The end is in sight, but we still got a ways to go until we get there. I hope Nick is able to pop in at some point. Although it's early for him. It's still like 11 a.m. Oh wait, no, it's noon because it's 3. Can't see the clock on my computer. It's behind my sewing machine. I wonder how many of these pins I've bent doing this. This is really like heavy to stick pins through. Oh, what's under here? So, measuring tape. Let's see, how are we looking? Oh, nope, it's pretty good. It's not, I don't think it's going to be perfect, but it's not going to be a disaster. So that's all we can hope for, right? So I'm doing these, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm doing them every 3 squares to have it nice and even. This is when I should be watching streams to keep myself occupied while I'm doing somewhat monotonous things. Instead, I'm being entertaining to you guys, so I hope you appreciate it. I'm having fun though. I think this was a good idea, even though this pinning part is kind of a little bit tedious. It'd be more fun if people hopped on Discord with me and I had wasn't just me yammering along, but I don't mind it. I don't mind. It's good practice. I could totally mess up the sewing and no one would realize it. Yeah, until it doesn't work. Like this is not a pro sewing job by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going pretty well actually. It's going better than I expected maybe. Okay, here's the end. Let's see what the measurement is on this end. It's not looking like it's 9 centimeters. It is like 6. Just a little bit less than 7. So yeah, not perfect, but 2 centimeters off. Not terrible. Not gonna complain about that. Oh, these are getting up too high. What am I doing? The way that people would notice that I screwed it up is when like nothing works. I totally bent that needle or that pin really badly. This is tough because this Velcro is just annoying to stick pins through. All right, we probably one more pin and we can call that. We don't need to go right to the end on this side. And I have screwed this up. It is not as convenient as the last time because I'm actually going to have to start sewing from the other end. Yeah, which means I'm also not going to be able to go around in a circle. I'm going to have to do 2 strips from the same side. So then the question is, does it make more sense to do the inside one first or the outside? Probably the inside one. There we go. Last pin. All right, let's move this stuff around. Get back to the original end. Ow, just stabbed myself with a needle. Need to pull the sewing machine in a little bit. This can go not here. And thanks, Arthaspot. I'm gonna do the inner edge. Actually, I feel like it makes sense to just go down the middle. I don't know if it really needs 2 layers. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Worst case scenario, it totally falls apart after like not very long and I have to redo it. But best case scenario is it works and I never have to think about it again. So we're gonna, let's back it up. It doesn't want to go. Let's see if we can. There we go. I don't know why it didn't want to work before. So this, I mean, it'll hold. Ow, oh, I'm poking myself. I just don't really want to do this twice, so we're just gonna sew it once and hope for the best. Oh, it's starting to buckle. It's starting to buckle a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it's gonna flatten out at that needle, and then we are fine. It's gonna be so much faster taking these needles out than it was sticking them in. Oh, I'm getting caught on all my needles. Actually, I know why I should have done it along the edge. I might go over this again because it's gonna buckle where I'm folding it if that edge, and by that edge I mean this inner edge. Ow! I just poked myself really badly with that needle. So probably gonna need to do another line of this, but I actually no, I'm gonna have to do it first. That's fine. I made a poor decision, guys, but it's not a disaster. It's just it would have made more sense to have lines on each side. Instead, I'm going to have a line on the inside and then a line down the middle. All right. Oh, we're getting too far over. Ow! Oh man, these needles. They're really getting me this time. Nope. 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 Cannot sew in a straight line. It's a problem, guys. Oh, I need some water. It's not poke. Oh, I bet you guys like that angle. Just in case you missed it, one more time. There we go. Man, this oh god, I'm not even close to the end yet. This fabric's so long. It's ridiculous. And yeah, it keeps buckling a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Oh my god, this is a really long piece of fabric. I'm expecting this thread. Oh, there's some hair. Let's not sew the hair onto it. I'm expecting this thread to run out at literally any moment. But so far, So far, so good. Whoop, whoop. Oh, this needle totally got stuck in my shirt. There we go. The like little bulbous head got stuck in a hole in the crochet. And the end is coming. It would suck if the thread ran out like right before. That'd be the worst. Oh, oh, look, it's the end, guys. It's the end. Please let me get to it. Then I'm gonna start at the beginning again, and we're gonna do another. Oh no, we're out. It's done. I knew that was gonna happen. Son of a bitch. All right, well. Sigh. All right, well. That's how far we made it. Where's my scissors? So, leave a little bit of thread on there. What we need to do, now you guys are gonna get to see the joys of threading. So we open this, there's a little bobbin in here. So this, and it is now empty. That is what happened here. So we're gonna put more on it, and we do that by sticking it up here. We need to unthread some of this. I don't know exactly the method that it's supposed to be done, but we're gonna do it like so. And we're gonna stick it up through here just so we can keep a hold of it when it starts, and then once it gets going, it'll be fine. So we pop this over this way, and when it's popped over this way and you start doing this, then it spins. Why did that thump? Did I just break this? Oh, I totally did. Alright, let's try that again. Let's put that down. There we go. So it just spins and fills up the bobbin. That looks really weird on camera. You want this to stay up here for a bit. It's not doing the top of it properly. I don't know how far we can go before it'll run out. Okay, I think we're gonna stop. That'll be good for now. So then we want to cut this. And this pops off here. And we're going to cut off this extra end so it doesn't get stuck in this bottom part. What did I do with, there it is. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So this, you pop it inside, and then there's a little, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there's a little like spot that it sticks in, and then you like pull it through underneath, and then it's in that spot, and then you take the thread and you feed it through this hole right here somehow. Oh, there we go. And then you stick it back in here, and somehow it magically pulls it up through, so we don't need to pull it up into it ourselves. We just want that to go down into there. And then we need to rethread this top part. So I left it through these parts. Actually, I wonder if, ooh, I don't know what that did. So then it comes down under here, but there's actually a thing that has to like hook over on here, which it's, there we go. Oh, did it do it? No, not quite. Oh, no, it is. It is, I think. Because it doesn't want to come down. Oh, this is stuck. Nope, I screwed something up here. Let's try that again. Alright, so it comes under here, and then it comes up around here. There. But still is really, really tight for some reason. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I know I'm doing it right, but it shouldn't be that tight. And this knob like tightens stuff, so you can like have it tighter or looser, but I don't know what it's supposed to be at. I think it was at like 4-ish is the ideal spot. Alright, well, that feels way too tight, but it like doesn't run through it at all. I don't understand. I don't understand what the heck is going on here. Maybe I'm not supposed to do it. But then, so afterwards it threads through this part at the top. And then this actually, oh, I wonder if it's because this is not at the top. Because you're not supposed to do this stuff with it down below. But yeah, no, that's like, something is not right here. God damn it. I don't know why it's so tight. I don't want to fuck with other stuff because I don't actually know what it does. Alright, what if I just ignore it and thread through here? Just what I was trying to do before. And then through here. And here, stick in there. This gets to close. This, oh, this should be up. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, that's, no, but that kind of is it. Let's see, can we, yeah. Yeah, that was the problem, it was because the foot was down. Man. And then there's a little thing back here it hooks behind that you guys can't see. And then we thread it through the needle again. Somehow. Oh no! No, I broke the needle. Shit. I hope we got a spare. I broke it. I legit broke the end of it off. I don't know if you guys can see here. But yeah, there's supposed to be a little hole at the end and like a pointy spot, and now it's just flat because I broke it. I thought it sounded like something broke, but there should be spare needles. Yes. Let's make sure there's not any open ones. What is this? That's not one. Alright. Well, it happens. Breaking needles happens. That's why we have extras, which hopefully work. But yeah, that happened. But yeah, there's like 4 more needles in here. Like you buy them in a pack because you break them a lot when you sew. It's just a thing that happens, and then let's shove this up in here. This is the part I don't know very well. I don't think I've ever done this before. Oh, does it go in there? I feel like Maybe the flat part goes at the back. No, that's not where it's supposed to be. That's just gonna break again. What is going on here? Oh, the flat side goes in there. I see. That makes way more sense. This isn't on straight. Alright, and then this goes up and down nicely and doesn't break. Okay. I fixed it, guys! I fixed it! Alright, let's... This is the most difficult part. Did that go through? It did! Yay! Alright, and then if we bring this down, it should bring up the other thread. And it's not. Oh, there we go. Voila! Just threaded. Although this bottom one feels really tight. Oh well, maybe it's supposed to. Alright, so instead of continuing where I left off, I'm going to go back to the start. And I'm going to do the sewing down the side, and then when I get to the end, I'm going to go back and do it from where I left off, because I think that's going to be the easiest method. So let's get this back up to the top. Let's go back to the start of this fabric. And let's see if this works. See if I haven't completely screwed this up. Oh, that's really tight. But I think it's because reasons. Alright, let's back her up. And onwards! Hey, Tanosaur! Welcome to my sewing stream. How's it going? I remember watching, oh, what movie was it? There was a scary movie recently. Oh, I think it was Annabelle, the movie that was based on the scary doll from The Conjuring. And there was a scene, it was like set back in, I don't know, like the 60s or something. And there was a scene where the wife was using her sewing machine. And it was set up so that it looked like something bad was going to happen. And I knew something bad was going to happen with her sewing machine, but I was like, legit, nothing bad happens with your sewing machine. Like, you cannot get your finger like under. You have to try really, really goddamn hard to get your finger under the needle. The worst, as I was saying, is that this little screw that I was tightening to hold the needle in place. The worst thing that happens is that like pinches your finger. But they had it set up that something terrible was going to happen with the sewing machine. Now I think she ended up pricking her finger somehow, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't a big deal. But it's still, I was just like, no, this is ridiculous. Nothing bad is going to happen with the sewing machine, even if she's not paying attention, which was kind of stupid that she wasn't paying attention while she was sewing. But um, she was probably, since it was back in the 60s, she was probably somebody who sewed a lot. Like, she was probably well familiar with her sewing machine. But for all the masses who aren't familiar with sewing machines, it looks like, oh my god, something terrible is going to happen. She's going to sew her hand or something. It explodes. Yeah, pretty sure it's not going to explode. Oh my god, these needles keep poking me. Guys, we're almost done. Well, sort of. We're almost done the main part, and then like the tricky part of making it actually look good. My thread broke. How did this happen? What? Why is this happening to me? Oh my goodness. I have no idea how this happened. Um, but my thread snapped. DJ, are you here? That's not to me. Alright, let's back this up a little bit. So we don't need that much extra thread. Did that go through? Nope. Let's snip this because this is actually really frayed. Whoops. Oh, how did this get behind the needle? It's not right. Did that go through? No, not in the slightest. Did that go through? No. Guys, I can't find the hole. There we go. Now it's through. The underside is still actually attached. Why is this all tight all of a sudden? Alright, so now basically we're just gonna put it back in where we left off. We're gonna start a little bit behind it. And we're gonna sew forward. We're gonna sew backwards. And we're good to go. There's just gonna be a part of a little bit more thread. And there's gonna be like a loop on the back, but I'll probably go back and chop that off. You can't get on Final Fantasy today because you didn't talk to your dad about staying over. Aw. I'm glad that we had spare needles, or my sewing stream would have come to an abrupt end right there. But as I said, it happens with sewing machines. Like, you kind of have to expect that you're going to break a needle every now and then. So having spares is just something you do with sewing machines. So as is necessary, we had spare needles. And by we, I mean me and my mom, because this is her sewing machine, and I did not buy these needles. So it's my mom's foresight in that, hey, we need more needles for this sewing machine that saved the day here. I wish my mom was, I should call my mom and see if she's home. Where is my phone? Oh, it's over here. Let me see if she's home. I gotta take my headset off quick. I'll leave my mic running. You guys can probably hear me a little bit. Let's see. Hey, Kirk. I'm good, but I can't talk long because I'm actually streaming right now. Is Mom home? Oh. How is yes and no? Is she leaving or coming in? Okay. Was she working? Okay, can you just tell her for me when she gets in that she should, as soon as possible, check out my stream because I'm doing a sewing stream and she can see her sewing machine on stream. And I broke one of her needles. Anyways, I gotta go. Bye. Thank you. Oh, he hung up before I did. All right. I assume you guys heard all of my side of that conversation, but yeah. Oh, oh, why did this get so far away? All right, back to the sewing. So hopefully my mom will pop in. My mom pops in every now and then. For those who haven't met her yet, tall Tara, if you see her, that is my mom. Be nice to her. She plays RuneScape, and so she watches RuneScape streams more than she pops in and watches mine. But I feel like she should come and check out my sewing stream. I wonder how long this thread will last now. I put a lot on. I should be good. I'll definitely finish this one off, and I should get a good way into my next one, if not all the way through. But the next one's gonna involve more planning because it's gonna. I have more fabric than I need, whereas this one it was just like I have just enough, so let's hem up the sides, slap some Velcro on, and see how it goes. So we're getting close to the end. We were really close to the end when the thread when the thread ran out last time. Uh-oh, Arthur's just went tearing away. Scared of the sewing machine. Scary business. That's still going? Yes, I haven't fucked anything up again. Oh, this is... I should have put a pin at the end. Let's not pinch my fingers. Alright, and... So for precise work, you can actually do it manually. When you want some precision. Alright, so get this up to the top, lift this up, pull this out. Oh, I was getting really close to the edge there. I'm going to pull it out a little bit, and then we're actually just going to stick it back in. Back here a little ways. About here. So we can finish. Oh, you know what? Let's just cut that. Because this is just getting in the way. Alright. So this needs to be over here. This can be over there. And let's do a little bit more. Back her up. Hey, Mom! How's it going? I'm trying to actually sew my valances. So I'm just about done. We're just about to the point where I can stick it up and see how it looks. Although I'm gonna have to do some draping of it as well. Oh, why is this stuck? And we've had a few mishaps. I broke a needle. I ran out of thread on the bobbin. I think that was all that really happened. It's been what? My thread broke again. Why does this keep happening? You know what? That's close enough to the end. I'm just gonna finish that. Like literally, it's like an inch from the end that it stopped. I don't really know why that happened, but good enough for me. We're not gonna mess. It looks like I know what I'm doing. Thanks, Mom. It's a good thing I do somewhat know what I'm doing because I was thinking I was going to call you, but apparently you just got home, so that wouldn't have worked so well. All right, so I'm taking all the needles out now, and then we're going to actually stick it up on the window, see how it looks. Could be a tension issue. Yeah, I think the tension is really messed up, but I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's set to 4 here. That's about right. The red part is the 3 to 5, and so it's on 4 at the moment, which I think is what it's supposed to be. But as soon as I get all these needles out, we will get to see how good of a job I did. It'll be a moment of truth. I'm gonna have to gather some parts because it's gonna hang down too long otherwise. But it should be good to start. And how are we doing on time? I still have an hour and a half. So I might actually be able to get started on the other one as well. Although I'm not sure when I'm going to finish that one. Probably next Saturday before, because I want this done by Thanksgiving, but we're not doing Thanksgiving until Sunday. Which reminds me, Mom, if you haven't heard, which you may have heard from Carolyn, I don't know when you last saw her. But we're doing Thanksgiving on the Sunday. Oh, this is one of my bent needles. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it's pretty bent. Let's see if we can bend it back a little bit. But yeah, it's gonna be on the Sunday, and I told Beverly to come. I told Carolyn around noon. I told Beverly between 11 and 1, and so she said she was gonna aim for 11 because Kevin's usually late. Um, so that's the plan. Oh man, I'm so excited to put this up. 2 more pins. Oh, where is this? All right, so we're gonna move my camera now to the window. So give me a second to turn this around facing this way. So this is the window, and up at the top you can see there's a bit of a wood piece up there, and that's has the Velcro on it. Ooh, big Ari. That has the Velcro on it, and this is just gonna stick up on it. So we're folding this edge over, and then we're just gonna hang it up like that. Oh, I'm so super huge. And I'm gonna do this dangerously by just standing on random pieces of furniture. So this sticks on there, and then this is gonna wrap underneath and just be drapey. And it literally just sticks up like this. And if you guys are saying anything right now, I have no idea what you're saying. Oh God, I was stepping on my pants. Nobody's saying anything. All right, that's cool. So. Moment of truth as to how well this actually works. Oh yeah, you guys can't see the sides. But yeah, just tuck that back in there so it's a little bit drapey, and voila! I have a valance, which it hangs down, as you can see. Well, I don't know how well you can tell, but it hangs down a little bit too far. It covers almost half my window, which was expected. But oh my God, all its glory. So we'll do a little pan. So from one edge to the other, super beautiful. I'm actually really happy with that. But now the plan is to do some, let's do it over here so I don't have to stand on things, to like gather this up like that so it ends up being a little bit drapey. Oh, Arthas is here, which I probably can gather it up like about half or so. And then if I gather over here as well, it'll end up like that is the plan. So I just got to figure out how I want to do that. But I'm pretty stoked with how that's working out so far. It's not up high enough at the 2 middle pieces. Looks good. Thanks, Mom. Hi, Arthas. You're so silly. Here, let's have a little Arthas moment. We're gonna have an Arthas moment. Hey, silly. Oh, and apparently an Ari's belly moment. Oh well. So I'm super happy I went for a walk this morning because it's now raining. Um, but yeah, so I think I'm gonna mark where I want to do the gathers, and then I'm gonna pull it down and see about doing a little bit of sewing of it. So how am I going to mark this? Ooh. Oh. I'm so huge. Um, so what do I want to mark it? I kind of want like safety pins, but I have those. Give me 1 second. I may lose my microphone because I'm going to actually run to the opposite end of my apartment because I have safety pins, and I think that would be the perfect way to mark it. And I'm going to lose it right about now. Right here. Oh my God, did I not lose? Did I not lose my microphone? This is this is shocking. Very, very shocking. All right. So now, ooh, that's frightening. Now I have some tiny little safety pins. I'm going to poke them in at the points that I want. So this one is pretty much right down this line is what needs to be done. So we'll mark that with this. And this one, hi Arthas, is pretty much down the middle of this line. So we'll mark, actually, why don't we, yeah, no, we'll mark the middle of it. And then this whole thing can come down. And it's that easy. But the next question is, how am I going to, oh yeah, so that's my couch that I was talking about earlier. So it's that dark burgundy color too. So back down onto here. Geopirate, get out of here. So the question is, how are we going to do this part? Mom, do you have any suggestions on this? What's the best way to gather? So much mess. Because I don't think I can do it with the sewing machine, although maybe. I feel like that might be too thick for it. Alright, so we have, the first point is here. So the plan is to just kind of like fold it over a bunch of times and then sew it up. But I'm not sure how thick I can make it before the sewing machine won't want to. And I know I can go pretty high on this. Stitch it with the large stitch and the pull thread. I have no idea what you mean by that. Actually, that's too high. Let's go back down to this. Oh, the pull thread. Oh, like to make it, you know what? I think, if only I had bigger safety pins. I could literally just pin it. I think I have some bigger ones. Let's see if we can do this as a temporary solution, then we can hang it up and see what it looks like. Where am I? Ooh, there's a really big one. Perfect. So we want this here. Leg. I know, Mom. I know. No worries. Sadly, I don't think I have a big safety pin for the other side. Oh, that's not working very well. It needs something else. Oh, it's just because it's too big. I see. So maybe a smaller safety pin would be a better idea. You guys can't see what I'm doing at all. Let me move this up a little bit. Alright, we want a little bit smaller of a safety pin, so it holds it a bit tighter. Although I don't know if these will be strong enough. It froze! Ah! Bye, Mom! Oh, you know what? I've totally lost which side of these, which one of these is the middle part. Yeah, like I legit just can't get this safety pin through it. I'm gonna totally stab myself. Working again! Alright. Welcome back, Mom. Alright, so we got that in. So that, yeah, it's still... Well, give us an idea of what it'll look like. So we'll go with that for now. And then the other side, which we're going to need to somehow fold up equally to the first side. Oh, it's going to be difficult. How much should I do? And there's 4. Okay. So we were doing it just about like that. Let's get this safety pin off. This one's way too small. Let's see if we can find an appropriately sized safety pin. I have like this bag of random safety pins. I see you, Arthas, running around. Oh yeah, I keep moving this. And then I don't remember where the middle point was. You guys can't see what I'm doing. So there was 4, so we gotta get 4 of these folds. Alright. And then I think it was up like this again. And then the safety pin. Hi, Arthas. Oh, that went through way easier. Alright. Let's put that back up and see what it looks like. So before I put it up, I will spin this around for you guys so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Ooh, don't get too dizzy. Don't get too dizzy. Ooh, ooh. There we go. That'll give you the best view. Maybe we'll just end up leaving it like this for now. Alright, so this needs to sit right there. And then this flips in behind it. And then we want this to be as close to the top as possible to block out light. It buckles at the corners and lets light in. I don't think that there's anything I can do about it. To make sure I'm standing at a table, right, like a little table right now. I gotta make sure I stand in the middle of it or I will fall off. It's draping awkwardly in the middle, but we can work with that. So, kind of like this is, how's that looking? That actually doesn't look too bad, although these are just like poofing out too much. Let's see if we can make this work a little bit better. And then if we pop part of this in, make a fold through this middle section, which doesn't want to do. And getting there. Oh no, we're showing the seamy side. That's not cool. Maybe if we drape it over like this. That doesn't look too bad. And then we gotta fix this part. To be a little bit better draped. There. Tuck that side in. Yeah, I think that'll do. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a good start. I might just leave it like that. The finished product. Yes. It's I don't like standing right in front of here, but here. I'll stand here and admire it. It's not quite what I was hoping for. It looks better on camera. It's actually sticking out really far. Like it's angled kind of like forward oddly. But it's definitely a balance. So yeah. I don't know how to make it drape better because it's kind of a little bit awkward. You like it? Thank you. See, I'm crafty too, sort of. But good. Let me get a look at it from further away. Take it all in. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think I might need it to gather a little bit less because it's pulling the sides in too much. And they're like sticking out weird. Like you guys can't see, but like that corner, that's what bothers me about it. Because it just, and I even have like the extra fabric here, but it just doesn't like sit properly on the wall. Oh, that fixed it a little bit. Just need to tuck the sides in a little bit. But yeah, decoration. 'Tis beautiful. All right. Well, now we just need to do the one over top of my. So my other window is over here. So we want to do one over top of that one too. And the reason why my things are every which way is because I have shit back there because they're painting my balconies or they were painting the balcony this week. But so we're gonna have something like this over top of that. Although I think I might pleat it. But we're basically gonna start the same way. But I'm gonna figure out the length that I need it to be and then pleat what extra fabric I have. And then do something. So this, if we go a little bit further, that's one of the existing valances in here that you can see hanging above that one. So that one's a lot nicer. But I legit didn't have enough fabric to do it over top of this one. So, but we can have a little bit more drapiness over top of this one because it's not as wide, and I have the same amount of fabric to do the other one. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that like that because I don't know how to sew it, and the pins are holding it just as well. Although what I might need to do is take the whole thing and not just fold like the one section, but to fold like it all the way across. So, and then pin it, because I think that would make the draping nicer. Because it would follow the fold lines better. Oh, and Arthas is on top of my fabric, my other piece of fabric. Arthas, what are you doing? What are you doing, silly? So silly. Don't blink at me like that. All right, how are we doing on time? It's almost 4 o'clock, so I'm definitely not going to get to finish this one, but yeah, we'll get started on it. See what we can do. So I'll finish fixing this one up some other time, I think. Well, it looks good for now. It works for now. It's not perfect, but 'tis a balance. All right. So back down to the sewing table. Let me grab my other piece of fabric. And basically I'm going to start the same way. I'm just going to hem up the bottom of it. And then I'm going to do the sides. And then if I have time left, we'll go from there and see what else I can do. But that'll be a good start. So let's clean this stuff up a little bit. Don't want that there. Don't want that. Oh yeah, I lost the thread. This needs to. Nope. Huh. I don't think this is going right. It is also a little bit too far away for me to see. Let's bring her in a little bit. It's supposed to go in there. Oh, it does go all the way down again. Okay, no, I did have it right. I did have it right. It seems tight. Like, is lower numbers tighter or looser? I think it's looser. Maybe we'll try at 3. Oh, let's get rid of some of this excess. We're gonna trim the end so we get a straighter edge. And nope. Yes. This is surprisingly easy to thread. I'm like actually really surprised how easily I get that through. That feels really tight still. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I think higher numbers are looser. You always have trouble adjusting the tension, yeah. I mean, it's been working, so I'm just gonna leave it. It feels tight, but it works, and I think it's okay because the fabric is pretty heavy. I think I would have a lot more issues if it was on lighter fabric. But this doesn't feel as wide, but it is. I cut it legit straight in half. It is the exact same piece of fabric as is up behind me. So beautiful. All right, so as I did before, start on this edge because it's got this weird thing. I use that as like the hem, and we're gonna do the same thing again. So first things first, I get to pin it all the way along. Oops. And this is so much easier to pin than the Velcro because that Velcro was a pain in the ass. Rock bottom. Are you going to the next fan festival? I would like to. I would very much like to, depending on where it is, when it is, how much money I have at the time. Uh, it is a thing. It is in the realm of possibility. It is something that I will definitely try to make happen. Have we heard any news about it? All I heard was that they're looking for a place in Europe, which I'm probably not going to go to it if it's in Europe. But if they do a North American one, I will try my best to attend. Hmm. All right. No, this is still working. Is that liturgy? Hmm. I feel like I'm closer to that part at that end. Am I making this? Oh yeah, I am slowly getting less and less. All right, let's try this again. I aren't quite folding it over far enough. You went to the first one. You were a retainer. You have your picture with the OSGP hugging at the pool party. Nice. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of interest in going to the last one, but I paid to watch it on Twitch, and I watched most of it, and it made me really want to go, and so I will definitely be trying to attend the next one. All right. How are we doing on time? So I am gonna have to do a hard stop wherever I am at 5, or possibly a little bit before 5. I have rating starting at 6, and I'm going to need some time to both rearrange my living room because I kind of had to do some serious rearranging of my living room and computer setup. And I have to get that back for rating, and I need to eat something. So I have this um, burrito bowl, I think, recipe that I'm making. It's from Chef's Plate, so I order every week. They send me the ingredients to cook 2 meals, and so I'm going to cook the second one. This week I ended up with 2 meatless meals, which was kind of weird. I wasn't intending to do that. I didn't realize that the one was like a fake meat rather than a real meat. It was a Szechuan stir fry, but it was using this like fake beef, which it was okay. I used to be vegetarian, so I'm not somebody who's like, oh my God, I must have my meat. So it was okay, but I kind of would have rathered real meat in it. They should do a British one in the north of England. I feel like that's not going to happen, Winter. As much as that would be nice for you, I feel like it's not going to happen. When does anybody know when they're starting the European server moves? I feel like that's happening soon. Is it happening like right now? Possibly, or next week? I'm actually getting really hungry. I have no idea how I'm going to do this one. No clue at all. But, whatever. We need to do the hems first, so I'll do the hems and then go from there. There's actually like a line on this side. This white line. That wasn't there on the other one, but that's exactly where the stitch needs to go. Pretty much. So I hope it doesn't get in the way. I'm actually also really thirsty. I'm not, my water is too far away. This is, if you can't tell, my World of Warcraft water bottle, refreshing spring water, level 1. My friend bought one of these and I thought it was hilarious, so I bought one too. Alright. Continuing on. Oh, Dawn said she wanted to stop in, but she hasn't been able to, she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it. I hope she makes it in before I finish. Oh, oh, why is my phone beeping? Oh, it's telling me to learn things. I don't wanna. I love that quote. I was maybe thinking about not having feet. uh, it was, if you hadn't guessed, it was in regards to a glamour. He was thinking about just having, not having like boots or shoes or anything and just having bare feet. But then I suggested what he really needed was the sandals from the summer festival, whatever it's called, which was conveniently going on at the time. I was like, you need to do that, and you need to get these shoes. And then he did, and it actually worked out lovely. So he decided against not having feet, but it was a thought that he had had. Oh, I was also hoping Nick would get to stop in on my stream. But I do appreciate that you guys did. I was worried that it might just be me, me streaming to me, but we had a few people turn out. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me sew and are continuing to enjoy it. Maybe learned a little bit about sewing. Saw that it's actually really not that difficult when you're doing things like this, where it's legit just pin up a hem, send it through the sewing machine, and move on to the next part. I hope I'd like to do this again sometime, but after I finish these curtains, I'm not sure what my next sewing project will be. So that's a question. Wow, I just realized, Mom, did you know that I've had your sewing machine here for at least a year now? Because I used it to sew my Halloween costume last year, which means it's been at my place since then. Which was almost a year ago. I apparently now have tickets to go to a Halloween party, so I gotta do some costume planning. I think though I'm gonna dress up as like a gypsy for reasons. It just seems like being an easy costume to do. But I need to go and look for some supplies for it because I don't really have anything for it. Probably you realized that I've had it for a year. All right, let's move that. We'll move this over here. We did this the wrong way again because we gotta move all this goddamn fabric. There's so much of it over to the other side. And oh, did I just move my oh, I knocked it. Oh, that's what happened. Shoot, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Camera issues. It's trying to fall off. My camera is held, it doesn't have like a tripod mount, so it's held onto it with elastic bands. So it's a little bit of a precarious setting. Shows how much I sew, yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't used it very much either in all that time. that even though I've had it. But I guess I have sewn more than you in the past year. AFK, alright. So we're gonna stick this in here. And oh, the sewing machine is way too far away. Let's bring this in a little bit. There we go. I move it back so I have more room for you guys to watch. Alright, there's a little foot pedal. And hopefully I won't break my thread this time. See if I can do it a little bit faster this time. Oh, I totally buckle up some thread or some fabric there. Sounds like somebody's screaming. I was concerned for a second. I was like, Arthas, are you dying somewhere? You guys also had a nice view for coming to the stream of a little bit more of the environment that I sit in when I'm streaming. You get to see some different angles of my living room. Which I nicely can stream from my living room because I live by myself. And so I have my personal computer set up in my living room, and I have a second bedroom that's dedicated to my office because I work from home. But that has a bunch of computers in it, but it's all my work-related ones. And possibly one of my personal computers that I use to listen to music while I'm working, and other things. Um, but I use it for music among other things because I constantly on my main computer have to switch between being on and off a VPN. That it's just easier to have a separate computer that can stay connected to things and not have to worry about it. And I also feel like it probably would be weird to be streaming music or streaming other things over our work VPN. Because it's not the most efficient way of transferring data. Welcome back, Mom. This side of the fabric is so goddamn long. Mom, you were saying that you wanted to sew something, didn't you? I forget what you were saying you wanted to sew. But I remember you mentioning that you might want your sewing machine back soon. Let's get some more water. The issue is that it's just so far away from me. All right. We're getting there. We're almost to the end. It's nicely still stitching. Oh, I keep buckling up the fabric on this side though. You don't remember? All right. Fair enough. Man, it just takes so long to go down the side. Oh, shoot. Oh dear. I gotta go back. I totally fucked this up. Let's do some backward stitching to make that actually stitch properly. I started stitching off where there isn't any fabric. So just double that up just to make sure it doesn't drape there. But I know where you live. Oh shit, this isn't sewing. It hasn't been for a little while. Oh, it lost the thread again. Shit. Well, shit. Why does this keep happening? So So I wasn't even not sewing anything. I was like more not sewing anything than I thought I was. Like I legit just wasn't even sewing anything. This is happening way too often. I'm clearly doing something wrong with the sewing machine. It doesn't like something about what I'm doing. But I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. At least this doesn't have to look very good, because the last thing I was sewing, the placemat, the sewing was actually kind of decorative, so it needed to actually look good. Whereas this, you can't even really see the sewing, so it just needs to be there and do stuff. This doesn't want to thread. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. And why is this super tight? There we go. Nope. This is really tight. What is it tight on? Alright, where did we leave off stitching? Oh wow, that was pretty far back. Alright. Oh, we're gonna have a loop on the back side. Alright, it's stitched up to there, so let's start here. And let's back up a little bit. It's funny that I was sewing for like actually like a fair bit without even realizing that my thread had snapped. Oh, it looked like it just caught a piece of hair and like pulled it in and started sewing with it. Almost done. The end is in sight. Oh, we just folded up some more fabric. That probably means I should put my pins a little bit closer together, but it's okay. And almost to the edge. Let's back her up. And there we go. One side is done. Excellent. I was looking at it for a second. I didn't see the stitching. I was like, "What? Have I been sewing without stitches again?" All right, where's my? There it is. All right, so time to take out all the pins again, which there are quite a lot along this side. So we shall do these one at a time. This is the tedious part of sewing. The sewing part's pretty fun. The pinning and unpinning, less so. And there's a piece of cat fur stuck in here. Arthas, why are you leaving your fur everywhere? Silly cat. Oh, speak of the devil. I just came around the corner. Hello, Arthas. Surprised he's not more scared of the sewing machine, although he did go tearing off earlier. I am actually getting pretty darn hungry. I'm really hoping I have enough time to make my food, clean everything up, and eat my food in an hour before raiding. But if I have to eat while I raid, that's probably not a disaster either. We'll just do what we gotta do. I haven't prepped any of my food yet either. Well, my plan, I'll get it started because food's probably the most important. And then while it's cooking, then I'll come and rearrange my desk area. So I got to put the sewing machine away. I got to move this table probably back into my office. I got to move my computer back to where it belongs because it kind of had to slide out at a weird angle so I could get this camera. this camera out far enough so that I could get a good angle. Because I initially was just gonna have it at the end of the table, but then because of it would make more sense if it was at that end of the table because I could actually see what I was doing. But because of this part, like you wouldn't have even been able to see me sew. And I was like, well, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of doing a sewing stream if no one can even see what I'm doing. So I moved my computer out so that the cable could go a little bit further. Oh yeah, I gotta go look because there's gonna be a loopy thread on the other side that I need to go and cut. So let's go along here and see where the loopy thread is. It's gonna be near the other end. Here it is. Let's just cut it off. There we go. Oh man. Oh well. Can't even really see it because this fabric's so, because it matches so well. Do you see that, Mom? The thread matches beautifully. You can barely even see it. You have to look really close. You can see it here where it's on the lighter colored ones. It's a pretty darn close match. Alright, let's do this edge. We need more pinning. So we gotta fold. How was I folding it in? Was I doing it? I did it like that, yeah. Alright. What? I totally changed it. What does it say? Did you not refresh? I totally changed my title. If it didn't, then there was a glitch. Oh my god, it's Nick! Hey Nick! How do you like my sewing stream? Or my sewing stream setup. I guess you can't really see much of my stream. I am also on Discord if you want to come say hi, so I can not be the only sound on here because I don't even have any background music. Usually at least there's Final Fantasy music. Today it's just me. I'm not a big listener of music, which is why I'm not actually even listening to music right now. It's not that I'm not streaming it. I'm legit just sitting here talking. It seems fine now. And this is the side that's got this random ass stuff on it, but it's only on the edge and it's only on the one edge, so I just put it behind. Nick, I'll have to show you, because I got the one curtain done. Well, sort of done. It's done enough for now. I'm working on the second one. I'm not going to finish this one, though. But I will work on it as far as I can until 5, and then taking a break. Although for anybody on Discord, I can stay on Discord and I can chat with you guys while I make food and whatnot. So if you just can't get enough of Darlene, then but today is Saturday, not Friday. Does it say Happy Friday? Because that's not the right title. I updated it to say something else. And if it's not updated, then something failed me. You were hanging out on Dom's stream earlier, but we had to crash. Wait, did you stay up that late? Was that how late you stayed up? Or were you awake really early? I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. Alright. The pinning of this hem is done, so we can commence with the sewing. So hopefully I won't break the thread this time, because that has been happening far too frequently. Uh-oh, uh-oh, oh, it's stuck. Oh god. Ugh. This is what happened before. What is up with this? There we go. And backwards. You saw creative in the title? It shouldn't be creative, I don't think. It should have said something about like sewing sewing a valance, curtains and brackets, and something else. I don't remember what I made my title. It started with hashtag sewing though. You didn't stay up, just rolled over and saw she was streaming. Uh, Much like you just did for mine, so you just woke up. I suppose that's reasonable given it's what? Well, it's 1. It's 1 in the afternoon, Nick. Get up, lazy bones. These side hems are so much easier to do than the long ends because it just the sides are just so goddamn long. It's like 2.5 meters of sewing. But these ones are probably only like maybe a meter, probably not even a meter. Ow, I just poked myself with a needle. With a pin. Pins and needles, not the same thing. Pretty much the same thing, but not quite the same thing. You guess the title update didn't work? Oh shoot, I just totally fucked that up. Well, I didn't fuck it up. Alright. Arthas, what are you doing? So it didn't update? Shoot. I guess I can check like what got posted to Twitter. I totally updated it, so I don't know why it didn't go. Let's see. It has me as creative though, right? Like I'm definitely streaming in creative. That's the biggest concern. Oh yeah, no, it does say Happy Friday. Man. I totally updated that goddamn title. I did it on Restream though. So maybe the transfer fucked up somehow. Oh, I gotta move this over so you guys can watch what I'm doing. Even though all I'm doing is removing pins. But I've got this lovely desk cam, so I might as well show it off. I need to get out of bed now, then start laundry. Oh, I meant to do laundry! Damn it! I meant to start some laundry before I started streaming, but I did not. Shoot. Well, maybe I'll start some laundry on my break, and maybe I'll have to do some laundry runs while I'm streaming. Oops. Why doesn't this want to go in? Why doesn't it want to go in? Alright. If I start a load as soon as I get off, the one that needs to hang up, then it'll be done before... Whoops. It'll be done before I need to start streaming again, so I can hang it all up, and then I just have to do the ones that need to go from the laundry, or from the washing machine to the words are difficult, to the dryer, and then can just like go in a pile from the dryer. Alright, so what were we doing? We're folding that in, and then folding it across. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I need to move the sewing machine back to make these lovely corners. Be right back in a bit on non-phone mode. So he's getting out of bed. It's amazing. Alright. This is probably, it's only 4:30. I need some more water. I might stop her. I feel like there's a lot of stuff I need to get done. I feel like maybe I should just hem this side and then call it a day. So I have time to get my other stuff done. Plus, after this hem, I'm not actually even entirely sure what I'm doing. So it's probably a good time to stop. What is up with this? What is this thread from? I have so much thread on my floor because I'm just like chucking it down there. You knew you saw creative. Yeah. Well, at least I got creative right, and people can generally see what I'm doing. I'm sure a thumbnail shows the sewing machine. And then maybe next Saturday I'll do Valance Sewing Part 2. Maybe I'll have a better idea of how I want to do that part permanently, and I'll finish up. I'll know what I want to do with this side, and we can go from there. Because I'm not entirely sure. Oh, those pins are way too close together. What was I thinking? So silly. Sure doesn't look like Final Fantasy. Yeah, definitely does not. Alright. So this side is now pinned. We can do the sewing. And then I think then I'll probably call it, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I only have like half an hour left anyways, and I have a bunch of stuff I need to do that if I have more time to do it. So much the better. So, oh dear. Okay, no, we're okay. That just ate a lot of the spare thread, but didn't take all of it, so. I know, DJ, but don't worry. I'll be back in like an hour and a half after I stop sewing, and they'll be raiding, and so you get an extra hour of my stream tonight because we're starting raid an hour early, and I usually start my stream when we start raiding. So, no complaints, DJ, no complaints. Man, I've not drank enough water while I was doing this. Super thirsty. And to the end, and backing her up, and off the end, and there we go. And I still don't know why this is so tight, but it is. Alright, so let's unpin this. And then, yeah, because I got to do some measurements. I got to figure out exactly the length that this fabric is, the exact length of what I need to mount it on. And then I need to plan, because I think I'm going to pleat it, but I got to figure out how many pleats I can make and how big a pleats I can make. And stuff like that. So I just don't think it's worth it to get started on doing that. That's something I can kind of do off stream as I think of it, because it's going to take a little bit of contemplating to decide exactly how to do it. But I'm glad I got the one done. That was my main goal. I really wanted to get it done. And I did. And so let me fold up this lovely, massive piece of fabric. It's so big. That's it, like, fold in half. Fold it again. This is it quartered. So we got the lovely hems done, and This is all hemmed. The other one's mostly done, although the drapey part's only pinned right now. Just before I go, for anybody who wasn't here before, I'm just gonna do another. My headphones just randomly turn themselves off for some reason. But anyways, this curtain up there is what I made today, and then the one I'm working on right now is gonna go above that window, is what I was saying. And that is gonna be it for me. As I said, I will be back in. Let's turn this to look at what I accomplished while I yammer. Yeah, so I will be back in approximately an hour and a half for rating. It will be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're working on Alexander Savage 2. And yeah, I hope you guys come back and watch then. And I'll probably finish my sewing stream next weekend, probably on Saturday. I'll probably do a little bit of a stream. It'll probably be shorter because I don't have that much left to do. But I want to get it done before my family's over on the Sunday for Thanksgiving. So yeah, it's gonna be soon because I gotta get it done. But I'm really happy that I got at least that part done. If I got nothing else done, that would still be a huge improvement. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Made sewing much more interesting than if I was just sitting here doing it on my own. So thank you guys for being a part of it. And I'm going to end my stream now, but as I said, come back in an hour and a half. I will be starting up my regular Final Fantasy stream, and there will be rating to start. So take care, guys. This is super awkward to move. All right, later, guys.